everybody. I'm late to the show. I'm sorry. Good. Now we've already got 7 people on here. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming in and watching. Uh, here we go. I got the comments over here on my computer so I can keep up with everybody. If you can hear me talking, leave a comment. Just say hey, whatever. Say hey, I hear you. Something like that. I'm just making sure everything's working right. There we go. There we go. We got some people in here. That's awesome. Got a PD Sand Digger. Got Texas Plug Riches, metal detecting northwestern Wisconsin. And we got 513 Dig. And that's awesome. A little bit late for my live stream. I usually don't get on this late, but I was actually at church a while ago. We had our church was asked to sing. Our choir was asked to sing at another church tonight for their revival meeting. So we went to their church service and everything. So a little late to the show, but that's okay. Had a good time at church. But let's see who else in here. Randy Dearman, Bill Burt. Let's see, metal detecting northwestern Wisconsin. I think I mentioned him a while ago. Greg Gustum here, changed my name. Oh, okay, that's right. You did mention you was going to change your channel name. Awesome. So good to have y'all. As y'all seen the title, let's see, Woodland Metal Detecting. Thanks for jumping in, Mark C. As you've seen the title that given in the old thumbnail that I put out there, we're going to talk about this Simplex tonight, and also about the legend. D-Lick actually went live earlier today. She was actually leaving Turkey, flying this direction. I guess she was still in Turkey, but anyway, either way, she was heading to the United States for Dig Stock. Anybody in the chat that's going to Dig Stock this weekend, let me know. I want to know if you're going. I'm actually a little bit jealous because I can't go. So none of the Southern Relics crew can go. We were asked if we were going to be there, but we just can't make it. Let's see who else is in here. Adventures in Michigan with Lisa Roscoe Davis, Greg Gibson, Jason Scarta. I mentioned Roscoe David, yeah. George Monkey, TNT Diggers, Hard Rock 4040. Let's see who's going. Let me see if anybody's going. I'm going, buddy. Woodland Metal Detecting. That's awesome, Matt. I hope you get up there and find some good stuff. I really do. I really like the way that they design and they have built that particular hunt and that event. It's, as far as I know, everything is a natural hunt. Everything's natural finds, and there's nothing seeded as far as I know. I think they have like a kids hunt or something. I think they're going to do this weekend where they do a kids hunt, and they put coins in the ground and stuff. I think if I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. Leaving for Dig Stock tomorrow night. That's awesome. And let's see here. I would love to be able to go to Dig Stock, not this year. I know we've got these metal detecting events planned up, and we've got the one up here at Oconee County, South Carolina. It's literally 25 minutes from my house, and so we're doing that one up here at Oconee, and that's in 2 weeks from Thursday. And is anybody all signed up? I was trying to get some promotional stuff out there. I really had a hard time promoting that event this spring. Just really busy. Y'all know that I think y'all know, most of y'all probably know, half of y'all know that I work at a nuclear power station. I work in security, and we're actually doing drills this spring and over the course of March. And that has took up a lot of my time. I usually go out and dig on Fridays because I work Monday through Thursday day shift now. And I usually go out and dig on Fridays. Well, that's been taken up by working overtime for these drills to get these drills done. So I haven't been able to get out and dig much, and Chris included, because usually Chris don't go if I ain't going. That's just the way Chris is. And then we don't ever see Jacob Hart anymore. So if I ain't out there digging, y'all ain't getting videos. So that's kind of why I want to throw a live stream in here, and let's do some talking about the Simplex. Oh, let's see who else joined in. Let's see. Bill Anderson, good to have you. They're having a seated hunt Thursday night. Okay, you should see their maps of the huntable area. I would love to see a map, after the fact, just to kind of get an idea of what they do, because it's something I'm toying around with for a video, or not a future video. Listen to me, a future hunt. We're going to do one in the fall up in North Carolina at Vane Mountain, which is in Nebo, North Carolina. It's about an hour and a half. No, about 2 hours from here, and we're going to do another event there in the fall. And I kind of want to do a map, and that way that people that do attend Dig Stock, that they kind of get a piece of that with our events. So I'm working on that. Let's see here. Couldn't find anybody who wanted to go with me. Didn't want to go alone. I can get that. I understand that. I know I meant to talk to several of the ones that I know, like Discovery Daisy. I'm not sure if she's going or not. She's hard to get in touch with, by the way. I got her number and I text her sometimes, but sometimes she texts me back. Sometimes she's like, "Oh, I didn't get your message for like 4 days," and I ain't making fun of her, but anyway. I like the idea of a carbon fiber mid shaft. All right, let's get into that. Let's get into this thing. All right, so since you brought it up, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's do the simplex first, because it kind of leads into the legend and the middle shaft there for that legend. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so. Please do that. That's awesome. Thanks you for reminding everybody. I have a lot of dig stock content on our channel if anyone is interested. I need to go and watch that. Woodland, I'm gonna get in there and watch some of that. She's always underwater, brother. Yeah, Daisy spends a lot of time in the water. And come May of this year, I'm probably spending May, June, July, August, and September in the water, and doing a lot of that Nemo, using that Nemo and using these underwater detectors I have in the lakes and stuff. But anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and talk about this simplex thing. All right, so when was it? Was it Monday? No, it was the 4th. It was Monday or Friday. I don't remember when it was. I think it was the 4th, which was, what's the day? So, yeah. Anyway, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The 4th or 5th, Delic went live. They were in Germany at an event, and they went live and they announced 3 new metal detectors, and it's all encapsulated into the one metal detector they've always had, or they have had for years, and that is the new simplex. So it's a next generation simplex. And there's some people that got on there and got on the bandwagon of why are they doing this? This is crazy. I look at it this way. I look at it as when I have the phone that I'm recording on, which is an iPhone SE, it is a 3rd generation iPhone SE. If you hear some pitter patter in the background, that's my dog running through the house. That is a 3rd generation iPhone SE. Now, what that means is they took the original, when they first came out with the SE phone, I think it's called Special Edition or something. Each time they do another generation is because they add features to it. They change this, they change that. It still is the same. I mean, this still holds this. It's the same shape. It's the same size. Almost the same weight, but they change the insides. They change it's not, they don't change necessarily software, they change the hardware. They change, just this, that, and another. So they make some changes and then they put a new version out. And that's what they do. And that is what I see that Nokta has done with the simplex. I originally, or the simplex came out in 2019, November 2019. I think they announced it at the event in the UK in like October, and they came out with it. Who says this? I wanted to buy one of those Nemo diving, but Calico is no longer selling them. I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. So getting back to this, they came out with the simplex in 2019, and I bought it like as soon as it came out. And when I was looking at it, I was also looking at the Equinox 800, because back then I really wasn't. I was using Garrett machines, but I wanted something waterproof. And so I got looking at both the Equinox 6, I think it was a 600. I was looking at the 600 and I was looking at the simplex, and they had just released a simplex, and I was looking at it. It was waterproof 10 feet, and it was only like $250. And with the Southern Relics code that I use on occasion when I need to buy something from Calico, it was like $230. I couldn't beat that. So I said, well, it's a single frequency machine. I didn't really know much about multi-frequency at the time. I was still kind of new to all the technology of metal detectors in 2019. And so I just went ahead and just said, shoot, I'm just going to buy this Simplex. And I bought it, and I actually just sat it in a box. It sat in a box for a month. Never even took it out. I looked at it, and that's all I did, because I was using the, I was testing the Amphibio that Calico sent out my way. So I eventually took it out. The first time I used it, I played around with the yard for 10, 15 minutes. I actually took it to the beach. It did decent in the dry sand. It didn't like the wet sand at all, but it was wintertime too, so I didn't really get in the wet sand much. I didn't want to get my feet wet. So it was just a real cold day that day. So I spent most of the time in the dry sand. Found some cool things with it. Found some targets. Wicked Digger, man, it's good to see you, man. Wicked Digger, are you going to be at Dig Stock? I was just asking this a while ago. What's his name? Dwight kind of hinted that you were going to be at Dig Stock. I was just wondering. Let's see. I like the idea. I still have and use mine from that 19. I have never had any problems with it. That's true. See, I ain't missing. I just don't want to miss any comments. Let's see here. I am not, unfortunately. Okay. All right. Well, Dwight was just on his video earlier. He was saying that you might be there. So I just want to check. So anyway, he is a nomad. Wicked Digger is a nomad for Nokta macro, or Nokta detectors, I should say. That's what we're going with. That's their new logo, and that's their new brand is Nokta. But anyway, so I bought it in 2019, fell in love with the thing, and just started learning it, and took it out a few times when I finally actually took it out of the box. And then this is where it kind of started. This is where Southern Relics started inching away from using Garrett machines to using Nokta machines. And I bought that thing. At the same time, I won a pulse dive, believe it or not. We have that pulse dive giveaway going on right now. If you want to try to win that pulse dive, it's the video I just posted a few days ago. So if you want to get in on that, do it. But I won a pulse dive, and so I started using that thing. And then about the same time, I bought the Simplex. Bought it, started loving it, and then I got those headphones, and I was like, oh man, this thing pairs with the pulse dive. And so I was like, oh man, I'm living my dream here. An AT Pro, that's what I had. I had an AT Pro, but I wanted that Garrett. Sorry, I'm moving the cord here. I wanted the Garrett Carrot. At the time, it was kind of brand new, and the Garrett Carrot was. And so just kind of giving you a history how we got started with Nokta. And so I just started using those products, and then I was like, man, this is cool, man. And I like the Amphibio, but I had to give it back to Calico. I got the Simplex, started using it with the pulse dive, the headphones, all the not the Bluetooth, but the wireless stuff. Really liked it. And long story short, Nokta came out with the SP24 coil. I was really, really excited about it. At the time, we were already affiliates with Calico, so I called my buddy Mark. He's now the president over Calico. I called him back at the time. It was 2020. And I said, hey, when you get those SP24 coils in, when you get them in stock, let me know. I want one. And so, long story short, this is kind of where the relationship built with Southern Relics and Nokta. He reached out to Delic. Delic contacted me. Me and her had a phone conversation on Facebook, and that's just how it kind of grew. And so, long story short, Chris bought him a Simplex. Jacob bought the Gold Cruiser, and then we just started using Nokta gear and just learning it. And the more I learned the Simplex, I was like, every time they come out with a coil, I'm gonna buy one. So I bought the SP30 or the SP35 coil in it. That's it's a big coil. Bought it, and it goes deep now. I picked up a silver ring with that thing, 13 inches down, and it wasn't no big man's silver ring. It was a lady's silver ring with a big, beautiful blue stone on it. I actually gave that away on one of my live streams. Gave it to one of our subscribers. But anyway, so that's kind of been the progress of Simplex and how it started 2019. They had all these new coils. Love it. And so we get this announcement the other day. She was kind of leaning toward it a couple weeks ago. Hey, we got some news about the Simplex coming up. Got some news about the Simplex. And I'm thinking, what are they doing? Because she already mentioned, well, we're already done doing the, we're already done updating the Simplex. I'm like, what is their plan? I don't. What are they doing with the Simplex? It's something new, but I don't know what it is. And I'm not a nomad, so and we don't really have insight like the nomads do of what's going on because we're not that close knit with a company like the nomads are. So me as a Nokta user and a promoter still didn't know. So we just kind of had to sit back and we all watched it together when Deelick went live. And she went live and it was awesome. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, she went live Saturday. That was it. I'm missing some comments, guys. I'm sorry. Let me get the comments real quick. I thought you were going. Sorry, buddy. See, I wish Woodland. Can't make it. Did you see the pictures phone book cover my son found with Hinkle Jeep on it? If I didn't, I'll look. I love my Simplex. I do too. I love it. I don't use it much now. I use a Legend. I started with the Garrett and then ordered the Pulse Dive, and I honestly wasn't a fan. I found it tougher to locate the target due to the Pulse Dive not having a solid tone when on the target. That is true. Then it says, what else do I got here? What am I missing? The Simplex Ultra is going to be a beast of a machine for people who want a great machine without spending too much. I agree. All right, so let's get into that. Let me get rid of this little notification on my phone. All right, let's get into these things. So we understand that came out in 2019. They quit making all of the updates maybe a year and a half ago. Then they launched the Legend, and then all of a sudden the other day, Deelick said, we got some new Simplex news. So I was like, what's the news? So they went live, and I was watching. And, of course, Deelick mentioned some things about Mind Lab at the very beginning, and I don't really want to talk about that. That's their business. But I will say, so they jumped right into the Simplex, and three new machines, right? You have the Simplex Lite, you have the Simplex BT, and you have the Simplex Ultra. I think I got those right. Let's see. Nice. Let's see. The Ultra is going to be awesome. I'm excited for that machine. I am too. I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I wonder. So they got the Amphibio. Nokta's got the Amphibio, and I hadn't really talked to them about this, but the Amphibio and the Multi Cruiser, they quit making the Multi Cruiser. I've used both. I've used both machines. I've tested both of them. They still have the Amphibio. It's in the bigger square control box, and it's a little heavier, but it has the 3 frequencies. I think it's 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember now. One of them's 20. Might be 20, 19, and 10. I don't remember. Anyway, there's 3 frequencies. If y'all know, just throw it in there. Pickens History Now, and then Facebook group is where I posted phone book cover. Oh, I did see that. I saw that. I did. That was cool. Bam, 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 Simplex. All right. So when they had the Amphibio, and it has the 3 frequencies that are not simultaneous, but they're individual frequencies, you can change them. So I was thinking in my mind when she was first talking, I'm like, oh man, I bet you one of these Simplexes is going to be a replacement of the Amphibio. I don't know if that's true or not, and that might be something they haven't revealed yet or not, and it might not be. But I'm thinking that would be cool if the Ultra Simplex would be one that you can change the frequencies on. That would be sweet, because then you would have the technology of the Simplex, a very simplistic detector, very easy to understand, very easy to see, and very easy to manipulate, and then just basically plug and play, turn the baby on and go. Very easy settings. So I thought, man, it'd be kind of cool to have a Simplex that can also change frequencies like the Amphibio does, and run one frequency at a time, of course, but you can change them. That would be awesome in the Ultra. And that was in my mind what I was thinking what it would be. And who knows? They haven't really revealed everything about them. But I like the Lite. The Lite is going to be a very basic unit when the see, please hit the like button before you leave tonight. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, Tracy. Um, Brad Welch, thank you for jumping in here. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, and as we go, she said all three machine will be 15. See, I wouldn't listen to that part. I should have went back and listened to it again today, but it would be neat. It would be neat, and maybe they got something in the works. Maybe they got something in the works, or they're just gonna make a different generation of the Amphibio and do that with it. I don't know. It's just we're all just thinking here. I like the Ultra has a recovery speed adjustment. I do like that. That's going to be cool. I could pick out targets in iron with the stock coil well on the Simplex Plus. Changing recovery speed would be huge. Absolutely. That's going to be a game changer for the Simplex. For if you're a Simplex user, that's going to be great. If you go out and you do purchase the Ultra and it's going to have that setting on it, that's great. Let's see. Wish they would make a budget pulse induction metal detector. I don't have much information on that. I'm sure Wicked Digger does, but he probably can't reveal that because he's under there's certain things he can't talk about. But I do know they're working on one. I do know that. That's all I know. Is Delic told me. I mean, what's the saying? I heard it from the horse's mouth. I heard it straight from Delic that they are working on a pulse induction detector for those deep targets in that nasty soil, especially up in Virginia for DIVs and stuff like that. That would be comparable to the CTX 3030. I do know that. I use an Excalibur. Should I be here or I get crucified? No. I'm not like that. I don't. I'm not like that. Okay. Use whatever metal detector you want. I'm part of probably 30 or 40 metal detecting groups on Facebook. And yesterday, I even joined one that's metal detecting for beginners. I joined that one like last week. And somebody was talking about a bounty hunter basic, like $100 or $80 metal detector, and said, "Hey, this is the only detector I have. Is it a good one?" And some people are like, "Oh, it's garbage. Don't use that." I'm like, "Come on, don't diss the person because that might be all they can afford." I told them, said, "Look, you get that detector out, get some good batteries in that baby, get out there in the yard somewhere, turn it on, swing it. When it beeps, dig it, learn the machine." And even these metal detecting events that we put on, that Southern Relics does at these LDMA camps, the GPAA camps, they are geared toward people who don't know much about their machine at all. And yeah, we do show them Nokta gear. I show them the Legend, the Gold Finder, the Simplex, you name it. We show them all. And we want them to try it out. But I'm not going to diss somebody because they got a Mind Lab or they have a, good night. My daughters tell me good night. Because they run a Garrett machine. Look, if you're comfortable with it and you've learned that detector, put that thing to use, get out there and find some goods with it. I'm not that way. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, just because we're sponsored by Nokta, that's the only thing I'm going to talk about. I'm sorry, I won't do that. Because there's some good machines made by other companies. And I'm not just going to run one company in the ground just because it's not the company that sponsors this guy. I'm not doing it. And nobody will pay me to do that. I'm not going to be bought and paid for. Just not going to. Let's see. I like that the Ultra has a recovery speed. Yes. So yeah, Brad, you're right, dude. I love watching. Let's see, what's her name? Norris Fett, and she always has that Excalibur. She's good with that thing. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to use it. She's learned that machine, and she finds some goods with it. Just like other people that have them. I like watching the videos of people using Excalibur. So yeah, you're in good hands right here, man. Just hang in there. Come hang out with us. The game changer will be the new pinpointer. We'll link the Legend and the new Simplex BT and Ultra. I cannot wait until the new pinpointer comes out. I'm really looking forward to that thing, and I'll pay top dollar for that baby. I don't care. I'm looking forward to getting it. Let's see here. Learn your machine, whatever it is, and you will find stuff. That is the truth. I started with a compass in the 70s and have arrived to the legend now. That's right, man. It's just new technology. Learn stuff. You know, they learn how to make a detector better. They learn that they can do things more, do more things with it. I mean, just like cell phones and computers and cars and everything else. As technology advances, yeah, you want to buy that new technology along with it. But you know, don't diss the old stuff just because it's old, just because it's outdated, because some people like the old stuff. All right, just like a Simplex, the 2019 Simplex, I still use that thing at times, even though it's 2023 and there's better, newer technology. And yeah, the new Simplexes as well. And I'm just rambling here, guys. I'm sorry. There's a lot of great machines out there, and they will all find stuff, even iron. That is true. Let's see. Bounty Hunter Tracker 4. A good little machine. I used one, and a mate of mine had a deer machine, and I flogged him heaps. Get to know your machine. That is the truth. And this is a phrase that we used in the first LDMA event that we did. I helped out with, I helped Mind Lab, the very first LDMA. It's called a Diggers Detector Training and Hunts. That's what they call it. If you go to the LDMA website or GPAA website, or you get the Gold Prospectors magazine, which I don't have it in front of me, they call it the Diggers Detector Training and Hunts, and that's what it is. We teach people how to use their machines, and I may not know a whole lot about it, but in the first day or so, I can help this individual with their detector, where they can they can dial it in the way they need to, and they're out there hunting. They're out there looking for stuff, and that's how you learn. Just get out there and dig with it. And I've helped people with a Bounty Hunter Tracker 4, and that's the key. That's what I was getting to. The first event, the thing that was the most important that I learned so much about is we did our first little hunt, and all they were doing was looking for little charms, just little charms that we threw out in the grass. Didn't even have them digging. We just had them on top of the ground, just and just hidden in the grass. And when it was all said and done, a man who was, who didn't really know his detector at all, the thing that came out of his mouth that Dominic really liked hearing, and then also Debbie with Mind Lab, what she really enjoyed, and Carolyn as well, she was there, and myself, was the man said, I learned to trust my detector. He learned to trust it, and he learned how to set it up, and to he learned to trust it. Southern Relics C Woodlands question. All right, let me get to it. I know I'm rambling. Let's see. That's right. We all start somewhere and should never name shame. Boom. You're right about that. Let's see. There's a lot of products out there. All right. What do you think? All right. Spray Can Michael says, what do you think of clone metal detector? I was looking a pulse induction metal detector on eBay for 150. Ukraine made clone metal detector. Clone. I'm not familiar. Let me keep reading. All right, Woodland Paystreak Super Freak said pulse dive is not good for land use. I have the Fisher F Pulse ground frozen and haven't used it. Technetics is the same as the Fisher pinpointer. I do see what he's saying about that it's not good for land use. It does struggle a little bit. The pulse dive does struggle with, especially pure gold chains, or really small, thin gold rings. It does struggle a little bit, but I'm not going to count it out and say, well, I'm not going to use it, because I use the pulse dive a lot on land. Let's see, Lisa, I agree. All right, here we go. Okay, I have a serious question, buddy. I am a seasoned detectorist, but just upgraded from the Simplex to the Legend, and I know the Simplex forwards and backwards. Okay. I can easily tell aluminum with the Simplex, but I can't tell aluminum with the Legend. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can help you there. All right. So the Legend, of course, it has a different VDI system. With the Simplex, you have 0 to 99. With the Legend, you have 0 to 60. Wicked Digger, if you know what I'm talking about, or you can help as well, throw it in the comments. So with the Simplex, yeah, 60s. 60s and low 70s, I believe, is aluminum. For the most part, like can slaw and stuff like that. Pull tabs are going to range down there in that 20, 31, I think it's 31, 32 range. But yeah, the aluminum foil, um, the Wicked Digger, there he is. There he is. I was going to say, it's going to be in the 40s, 38 to about 42 is usually aluminum, like can slaw, stuff like that. You even pick that stuff up down in the teens. I've picked up can slaw in 19, 20, 21, 22. It just depends on its density. Depends on how thick it is or how big it is. Somewhat even the shape. So you're gonna have that VDI difference. You're gonna have that legend's gonna run in the 30s, sometimes in the 20s and teens, but it just depends. It just depends on how big it is, really. But you get up around 43, 44 on the legend, you're looking at more of a brass, bronze, copper, or even silver. Most of your Roosevelt dimes ring up around 45 on the legend. As deeper, of course, if you go deeper, the deeper it is, that VDI is going to be lower. That's why you don't always trust that VDI. Listen, those sounds are good. Listen to that sound. But it goes back to dig it all. And I know everybody hates that phrase, dig it all. But if you don't dig it all, you're missing stuff. You just are. I like to cherry pick. I'll hit them high tones first. If I get a new permission, I'll hit high tones, or just hit them solid, shallow targets first, and then I'll come back and get the deeper ones. And the chat is flying. Good night. Let's see. I can't catch up, guys. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Somebody asked about LDMA. So here's Jason Scarta. Dude, if you learn any machine, you will find good stuff. LDMA event proved that the Simplex will hit many, many targets that Equinox will. Simplex found targets that the Equinox didn't, and vice versa. That is a true statement. That is very true. And this kind of goes back to what Delic was saying. And I know I'm behind on the chat. I'm sorry, guys. But this is what Delic was saying the other day, was to challenge the detectors. Don't put things in the ground and then test them between two machines. Go out in the field and natural targets. Go over those targets. Go on it and then turn on the target, and then see if you pick it up, and see what those machines are doing. Most likely, both machines, different companies' detectors are going to go off on those items, because it's technically, I mean, it's still the same technology. I mean, you're breaking that. I'm losing my words here, but that field, that electronic field going in the ground, that magnetic field basically, from that coil and that frequency going in the ground, and it is breaking it because it runs across metal. As long as that coil is built to where it can pick up a deep target, it doesn't matter. Most machines are going to pick up those targets. And he's right. Jason's right about that. When we had the event down at Loudmine in Georgia, he had a legend. Other people had mine labs, the Equinoxes, and they were going over targets. He was going over targets, and they all were hitting them. His detector just as much as theirs were. Now, yeah, there's going to be a little bit difference. Will they separate a little different? Maybe, but or give a clear signal and all this, that, and other. Maybe, possibly, but and I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. All right, so y'all got me on this. Don't do this. So let me tell you what happened. All right, so we were at Vane Mountain. This was when my lab was doing the first LDMA event that I was a part of. I didn't know that my lab was going to be there. I didn't know how it was going to go, anything. And I was just going to help, just have a good time. And so this was back in 2021, and this was right after COVID started kind of slacking off a little bit. And so the LDMA was starting to have events again. And so we were up there at North Carolina, and I'd had my Simplex out goofing with it and playing around with it or whatever. And Debbie, we're from my lab, she was there, and at first she didn't really like me that much. I'm not even doing the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm working on it. Tell us, Steven. I know I'm trying to get to it. So she looks at me point blank and she says, "So, because I'd been messing with the Mind Lab a little bit and with the Equinox, and I had some time to learn it a little bit and everything." And so she looked at me one day, that day or whatever, and she said, "Be honest with me, Steven." She said, "Which one's better, the Simplex or the Equinox?" And I said, "David, you can't ask me that question." I said, "Because they're two different machines. I mean, the Simplex is a single frequency machine. The Equinox runs off of 4 or 5 frequencies at a time if you want, you set it up that way." I said, "You really can't compare them on that level of, because they're two different types of machines." I said, "Because Simplex is a single frequency." I said, "So naturally, or we would want to say that the Equinox is better. Yeah, it may be." I said, but I said that Simplex will give that Equinox a run for its money. I said it will. And I told her that, and she just kind of just, didn't say anything. And I was just being honest. The Simplex is a good detector. And so now you take the technology that Simplex has done, or that Nokta has done with the Simplex. You take that and you see what they have done with these three that they are getting ready to release. The light, which is going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be like when the Simplex first came out. It had the four modes on it, just like. And if you look at the light that they just talked about, it has 4 modes. It has beach. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wicked Digger. It has beach mode, park mode, field mode, and something else, all metal. So it has 4 modes. So in my opinion, the way that they came out with the Simplex in 2019 is how the light version of the new Simplex is going to be, with probably a better recovery speed, things like that. That's Steven's opinion. That's Stevenology, okay? Don't take it to bank. The second model, the BT, it's going to have the 5 modes. According to what I've seen, it's going to have the 5 modes. It's pretty much going to be what you have now with the Simplex version 2.77, 2.78. 5 modes, but you're also going to have probably better recovery speed. That's correct. Slightly tweaked, lighter machine at 15 kilohertz. That is correct, 15 kilohertz. And with the Bluetooth. So that way that the headphones that work with the Legend, they look like it anyway, the same headphones that they use for the Legend will also work with this new Simplex BT Bluetooth. And then the Ultra is going to have that recovery speed where you can change it, which is going to be a game changer. And then with the Bluetooth headphones, and it's going to be tripped out with a few extra things. And speaking of tripped out, when it comes to accessories, you're going to have that middle shaft is going to be carbon fiber now instead of aluminum or whatever lightweight metal they use. So it's going to be just like the lower shaft on the Legend. It's going to be carbon fiber, both of them carbon fiber. And then you're going to have the different arm cuff that's supposed to be lighter. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from dealers, and I'm sure that Wicked Digger can confirm that. I like that though. I gotta get through this chat real fast. I can easily tell Lemon with Simplex. Okay, the Tracker 4 was a nice little machine. I had number 45 on the old Horseshoe original All right, I would love to use a metal detector for one day. All kinds of history in my yard. Oh yeah, yeah. I know. I need to get with you because you're right here near me. And I've got extra metal detectors. I got a permission the other day for a school that my grandpa went to when my great grandpa went to when he was in elementary school. I got the permission where the old schoolhouse stood, and I didn't even have to ask for it. Somebody reached out to the dude that owned it for me and said, "Hey, he wants to come metal detect," and he called me today and said, "Hey man, I got permission for you." So I was like, "Man, I gotta get out there now." See here, I believe the best detector is a detector a person feels comfortable with them and understands. That is the truth. Comment, I should say, Lisa, that's true. I need easy. Man, y'all are flying through this. I have thought about the Simplex. Michael Oliver was one of them, but still uses the X Cow from time to time. We'll be diving with him soon. That's awesome. That I like watching him. He his he intrigues me. Places he goes and the rings that he's able to recover for people. Woodland. I noticed most aluminum on the Legends 41 to 44 has a slightly higher tone. Depends on the size of it. That is true. I found aluminum token. Uh, and we've already kind of covered this. I found an aluminum token the other day, back in January, and it was an old drugstore token, 5 cent drugstore token, found right here in the town I live in. And the back of it actually has the town's name on it, and showed it to a few people. And if it was in mint condition, there's people on eBay selling them for $1,500. So I mean, but it was aluminum. What I'm getting to is it was aluminum, and it came up a 43. So those aluminum tokens, yeah, they'll ring up that high. So Wicked Digger is correct on that. Nokta is working on a pulse induction metal detector. I'm interested. Garrett Axiom is a good detector, but I need a budget. Or yeah, you're right. I mean, that Garrett that they came out with the Axiom, it is expensive. But yeah, it's expensive. I've heard it does good work though. Jeff says, "Hi, hope all is well. I recently picked up the Legend. It's a great machine. It is, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Oh no, what happened? I moved it. Man, what happened to the chat here? Stand by. Jumped down too far. I thought I'd caught up. Yeah, I'm gonna end up missing them, guys. There's so many comments here. Let's see. Okay, I just bought the Pulse Dive. Haven't really given it a real run yet. Got it for portability. I am so ready to get back in the water with the Pulse Dive. I love being underwater and that Nemo and just hitting all these beaches at the lakes that we have out here. We have 3 lakes around me. I have Lake Jocassee, Lake Kiwi, and Lake Hartwell. I know I probably just told you where I live, but it doesn't matter. Right on, Tracy. A detector for each style of hunting. That's why people have many. Listen to tone more. You have to dig it. That's true. Dig it all. I do, but it's a lot easier to dig underwater than on land. That is the truth. Much appreciated. Can't work up a sweat. I like digging about anything that repeats. That is true. If it's a repeatable signal, dig it. I walk a circle around target and make sure tone doesn't change at least much. That is true. He's giving you great advice right there. I found something hunting old bottles. I will send you pictures sometime tomorrow. Maybe you can tell me what it is. Yeah, do that, BJ. I have aluminum test artifacts, Manicore TID 1 to 97. I'm curious of putting a Manicore in my hand. I'm curious to see how it does. Kelly Co had a day with Debbie a couple months ago. She came to the showroom in Knoxville, Tennessee. I wasn't able to go that day. I had to work, but they did a test. They wanted to train all their personnel on how to use that machine, and I didn't get to go to that. But I would love to have. But eventually I'm gonna put my hands on one, probably at this event. Somebody will have one up here at Oconee, or definitely in Stanton, Arizona. There'll be somebody. I know somebody out there bought one. My buddy Prospector Paul. He's on YouTube. He's awesome, and he can find some. See, he can find some gold with a metal detector, and he's got a YouTube channel. You ought to check him out, Prospector Paul, and he'll be at the event. He was at the event last year. He'll be at the event again this year. Looking forward to seeing him again, and hopefully he'll have that Manicore so I can play with it while I'm out there. Let's see, Simplex now. Hope to get one of these new Simplexes. I do. I think I'm going to try to invest in one. Let's see here. I don't want to be on here too long. I hunt the Buzzards Bay area a lot. The Legend is awesome on Scusset and surrounding shorelines. I'm telling you that Legend. I didn't really get to play with it much on the beach because we were at the beach for New Year's, and the weather just wasn't great. And so I was out there one day with it and spent about an hour and a half or so. But it was quiet as a mouse. Wet sand, dry sand. It was getting deep stuff. It was a can, but I found a can at 2.5 feet deep, little aluminum can, and it'd been there a long time because that Coca-Cola can was made in the year 2000. So it was lost a long time ago, and got it out of the ground, out of the sand. See, I'm about 25 minutes from there. I camp at Bourne Scenic. I'm trying to catch up on the chat, and I can't do it. I can't read fast enough. Daisy got herself a new XP Deus. I know. I seen that. She did do that. She did get her one of those. Let's see here. I killed my dad farm. Got farm field from the Simplex chauffeur badge. 1941 chauffeur badge. That's cool. Simplex is like digging with dummies. It's simple and works. That is true, Jason. Let's see here. George, I enjoyed fishing for that. Yeah, tucked behind the campground. My dad got us there. See everyone. Hey, Dirt Clod metal detecting. If I've missed you, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up on this chat. Loopy U2Y. I think the light will have better flashlight than Simplex. Probably will. It may have a little bit better flashlight on it. Who knows? That's Steven ADHD. That's funny. I want to respond to every comment, and I just can't do it, or I get tied up. I used the Pulse a week or so back, and it does a good job on locating targets up to 6 to 8 inches deep, depending on the size of the target. But I really need to give a real go. Chris is checking out. See, Chris. What? I thought Daisy was a Garrett girl. She is. And I don't know. I hadn't talked to her about it. I hadn't talked to her, so I'm not even going to release. All I'm going to say is they sent her a Deus 2. Whether they done it, they just sent it to her for her to test and give it back, or she bought it. I don't know. She didn't really reveal that. It's on her Instagram account. She posted one day that it showed up or whatever. So I don't know if she bought it or if they just sent it to her to test it and she's sending it back. I have no idea. So I'm not going to speak for her. I don't know. But all I know is she had one the other day, and she was down in lower part of the South Carolina using it and finding some cool stuff with it. So that's a great machine. I've seen people find some cool stuff with it. I mean, that's awesome. Let's see what I thought. Okay, here we go. I would say the Simplex is economically priced for a great product. I wouldn't say it's for poor people. I like a little extra jingle in my pocket. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's I like the Simplex. That's why I bought it. And I've used it now up until, this is the first year I haven't really, or last year I used the Simplex a whole lot less because I was trying to learn the Legend. I got the Legend in March last year. So I've had it almost a year, right at a year. And my whole focus was to spend a whole month to learn that detector, because I was going to Arizona in April, mid-April, for that metal detecting event, and I want to show that detector and kind of showcase that thing. And you know, it's got a gold mode on it, so I was right there on a gold prospecting camp full of a bunch of gold prospectors. Most of the people that sign up for these events are gold prospectors. They're LDMA or GPAA members, and so I wanted to learn the machine enough to take it out there, show it to them, let them use it, let them try it out, take it out there to the gold field, see if I could find some gold with it. I was not successful there, but I did find targets that would ring up like a piece of gold would. I mean, everything from bullet casings to pieces of lead to small little chunks of aluminum garbage. It was everywhere. And nails, of course, nails I was able to discriminate out, but I did leave it in the. I was still digging them because I wanted to find gold. I was looking for it. So I was running through the paces. I was learning the machine while I was using it. So great detector. Legend, awesome. I think I just pumped that thing over in just gold mode and then put it in the multi gold and just let her rip and just see what it would find. Brad, with a ground balance, I can get the Fisher F pulse range to 3/4 inch set to full sensitivity. I can pinpoint my refrigerator from almost 2 feet. You need the right tool for each job. That is true. Love all y'all. I'm gonna shut up now so Steven can talk the fancy new stuff. All right, so Thanks, Jason. All right, so let's talk. Let's talk about the. I honestly I don't really know. All I know is they have redone the housing for the Simplex. From what I'm gathering, they have redone the housing, and it seems like it's sleek. It's more. It looks like it might be a little bit smaller. They made it maybe a different material, and it is lighter, smaller, lighter, and then with that middle carbon shaft and that different arm cuff being a little bit lighter, that it makes the whole machine lighter. And in the video, if y'all seen it, Delic had a man grab both the first generation Simplex and the, I'm not sure which one it was, one of them, and tested it. I think it was the Ultra. Tested them to see which one was lighter, and or see how they did weight wise, and the Ultra was lighter, and that's awesome because the lighter your machine, the more time you can spend out there detecting with it, and you're less fatigued with your arm. That's great. Man, I've been going for 50 minutes. Good night. All right, we'll shut this down in a few minutes. Y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging in there. I know this is the East Coast, and I know some of y'all are toward the West Coast, so it's earlier tonight, but it's 10 o'clock here. I got to work tomorrow, so I got a little bit longer I can talk. Um, so that's awesome that they have made it lighter. That's great. Um, so overall, you give me your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Do you think that Nokta made? And this is, I mean, everybody's got an opinion, just like elbows. Everybody's got an elbow. Everybody's got two elbows. Um, everybody's got opinions. Was it a good move? Did Nokta make a good move by revamping the Simplex and coming out with 3 models? Yes or no? Let me hear your thoughts. I want to know. I think they did. I think they did because I'll put it to you this way. Mind Lab has. Let's just do it this way. Garrett has the Ace series. Mind Lab has the Vanquish series, and what it's 3 machines. The original Ace machines, there's 4 or 5 of them. And so taking this Simplex, they don't have a series. So take that Simplex and make a series out of it. Tracy says, I think it's a great idea. Yes. Hey, it's everybody's opinion. I don't care. Just tell me. I want to know, you know. But people will buy them. I really believe people will buy them. You'll have people that'll buy. They'll say, well, you know what? I just want a basic machine. And it's all going to depend on pricing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with pricing. They came out with the first swing just a few months ago. It's only available on Amazon. You can't buy it from a dealer, U.S. dealer. You have to get it from Amazon. It's a $100 metal detector. They've basically revamped the MIDI horde, which was made for kids ages 8 to 13, 14 or whatever. So that's what the first swing is for. They revamped that machine, changed the name, gave it a different look, and then repackaged it. Nothing wrong with that. You have the mini horde for really small kids, 3 to 7, 3 to 8 years old. First swing, it's just in my opinion, it's just a better name. First swing for that 8 to 13, 8 to 14 years old. And then you got that Simplex. So you got that Simplex, that first version of the Simplex would be a little bump up more than the first swing. And that'll be for your teenagers to somebody who's just really getting into the hobby. And then you got somebody who's, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get me a set of headphones, or I've got my own, low latency Bluetooth headphones, and I'm just going to go out here and get the BT model. Okay. Or to get that Ultra. And then once you get that Ultra, you're like, oh man, this thing's got a recovery speed change on it. So what's the next step? The next step would be that Legend. So I think it's a great move. It's just, it covers everybody. Those different machines can cover all those different things, right? You got people that want this type of machine, but they don't want this technology, so they're going to bump down and grab this one. I think it's good. And it just depends on their price, and I'm really looking forward to seeing their price, and I hadn't seen that yet. Let's see. Adventure Lisa says Nokta does take time to tweak its things they can perfect. They do that. 513 depends. What is the price difference? There you go. George says, I think there's a market for several Simplex. I mean, Mind Lab did a new Xterra, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. I just want the carbon middle shaft and arm cuff. I do. I'd like to have that, and I'll be willing to pay good money for it. And I know she said she was gonna offer prior Legend owners who already have the Legend without these other accessories that they're gonna offer those to people who already own one at a discounted rate. That's awesome. Love to see the price point on that when they have time. They're gonna be tied up at Dig Stock this weekend, so I'm sure we'll may hear something in a week or two on that. I think they did see, Mind Lab came out. Yeah, Mind Lab came out with 3 at one time. Oh, I ain't gonna roll my eyes. I know. I just did it, but they did. Manicore, uh, the Equinox 700, 900, and now the Xterra Pro. But hey, I'm not gonna diss them. Okay, I mean, Nokta just announced 3. I'm not gonna diss them. I'm not gonna diss them. All right. Um, yes, give price break to the beginner moves the Legend up. Yes. Let's see. The price point between Ultra and Legend has to be too big at least to be at least $200. Yeah, I would say so. At least 150. Um, because the Legend, like she said today, the Legend's getting ready to go back up to its original or try to go a little bit below the original price that they first had it at, which I think was like I can't remember now, $600. So I'm thinking the Ultra may be around that I don't know, 450. You think it'd be $450 to $500 possibly for the Ultra? I'm just assuming there, um, because you got to think of the AT Pro, and the AT Pro is very comparable with the Simplex, and that's what when they came out with the Simplex, that's what Nokta was driving toward, was to compete with that AT Pro. Well, that AT Pro's $500 something. So if you think the Simplex Ultra, which still has more features than the AT Pro, keep it around that same price, the AT Pro, I think they got something there. Mm, all right, going too fast again. Here we go. Gino. See, I don't know about the 3 versions. I can see 2 for sure. I think one of the versions will suffer low sales. Maybe one time. Only time will tell. It's possible. It's possible, Jason. That's good for those who haven't purchased the LG30 coil, but I've recently bought the LG30 and 24. I did buy the 24 a month or so ago. No, yeah, about January, mid January, and the 30 is on its way to my house too. Um, I'm just waiting on DHL to get it to me. Texas plug riches 700, 900. Yep, that's that was, like I said, I'm not going to diss Mind Lab for coming out with machines. I'm not. I am pretty much an underwater hunting still a lot of goodies in the ocean. I know it sounds weird, but I mainly hunt the lead weights. The gold and silver is a bonus. That's okay. That's interesting. That's cool, man. That's hey, everybody's got what they like. That's cool. And you get to spend a lot of time in the ocean anyway. I love being underwater. It's fun, especially with detecting. It's so much fun. It's a competitive world. That's the truth. Brad says one place I have already removed 1.65 tons of lead and still going. Man, that's cool, man. Plenty of other goodies down there. Lead is at 230 per kilogram. Hey, get it out of the water, and it's good for the ocean, and get it out, and it's good for you because you make money on it. The new Legend comes with the LG30 coil now. Yeah, that's something they're working on to get out and the put in the actual. That's going to be what is in the box, is the LG30. If the new top Simplex has the ability to select different frequencies, they will bury the new Xterra. I agree. I agree with that. But I don't know if it will. The way that Wicked Digger is saying, as of right now, it looks like it's just going to be a single frequency detector, and you won't be able to change frequencies unless they change their mind last minute and say, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and put the hardware in it and we're going to make this thing where you can change frequencies on it in the Ultra. That'd be awesome. We got about 10 more minutes, guys, and I'm gonna have to get out of here. I gotta go make me some eggs and some sausage or bacon and get it in the refrigerator so I can get to bed here in just a few minutes. Ram detected. What's going on, Mark? That's my man, Mark. If y'all ain't subscribed to Mark, you gotta go subscribe to Mark. And I know everybody else, y'all should all subscribe to each other. I shouldn't have said that. Everybody should subscribe to each other and support each other. I agree with that. But me and Mark go back a few years. And we had a Simplex challenge a couple years ago as well. That was fun. Let's see. Come on, spring. I got 22 inches of snow. Good night. All right, this is upstate South Carolina. It was 80 degrees today right here. It's a little bit too warm. It's not usually that warm, but it was 80 today, and I loved it. But I had to work, so I didn't get to enjoy it much. Let's see. I go fish and weights and bring them in. Can a competitor worlds just waiting for winter to hit, and I have the rivers all myself. I bet so. I was just saying it was a good idea that Nokta came out with 3 detectors. Yeah. I mean, hey, if Mind Lab can come out with 4 machines in 6 months, then nobody can knock Nokta for it. Just saying. You will have to buy all new coils for the 3 new machines. That is I am curious about that, because the way that did y'all hear how she worded that the other day? She said that those coils are the original coils for the Simplex, but the coils that's going to be on the new Simplex, the new generation Simplex, they're going to look different. I wonder if they're just going to go ahead and put a SP30 on that baby. That would be sweet. But you think about it though, if somebody has a Simplex first generation, it'd be awesome to be able to interchange those coils, kind of like the 600 and 800 on the Equinox. That would be nice. But Nokta is pretty consistent with not being able to share coils with other detectors. I take that back. The Gold Cruiser and the Gold Finder 2000, you can interchange, I think, all of the coils on those 2 detectors. I think that's correct. Let's see. I'm getting behind again. Does the Simplex coils fit the Ultra? We just kind of discussed that. I'm subbed to him already. Good deal. What's your settings on the Legend for the beach? Thanks. I'm not going to elaborate on that one, Mark, and it's not because I don't like you, because I do like you. I like all my subscribers. Because I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. I have literally spent 1 to 2 hours on a saltwater beach with the Legend, and I had it in beach mode. I was running in multi, but I don't remember if it was 1 or 2. I'd have to go back and watch my video. I'm not at a beach. I live 2.5 hours away from the nearest ocean, and I haven't been to a saltwater beach with a metal detector. I was there in January for New Year's, but prior to that, I haven't been on a saltwater beach with a Legend at all, and I hadn't been on a saltwater beach with a Simplex in probably a year and a half. I just hadn't been to the beach, so I don't know how to answer that, Mark. I'm just being honest with you. Don't know how to answer it. Let's see here. Delix says they are coming with the SP30. That would be excellent. Like an SP30 coil on this new Simplexes would be outstanding. I'm hearing some great stuff about the LG30. Mine will arrive as soon as DHL can get it here, and I'm going to test that baby on the Legend. Different frequency, so may not work. That's true. That is true. I didn't think about that. She said the coil was still in design, so I wouldn't think it would be an existing coil. True that, Tammy. See, y'all helped me out here. It was the upper 70s to 80s here in Columbia. I know it was warm today. Windy up here, but it was warm. Saw it on 5280 Adventures today. Yep, going from 12 kilohertz to 15. Yes. And I've ran the Legend in 15 by itself, and I like that. I like running the Legend in just 15 kilohertz. Works great. It's a good all around frequency. Let's see. The Legend from 108 up kills on East Coast beaches. Oh, up. Okay. Yeah. I, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Once they got that, when they can fix that issue with 107 to 108, once they got it and took off with it, I've heard it does good on the beaches. Watch Treasure Outdoors. He uses the Legend at the beaches in Florida. As good as my old trusty V3i. Kayak Magic. Hey, Kayak Magic. Thanks for jumping in here. I've been watching the Gigmaster, and he is really talking up the Legend. I was listening to a podcast today at work while I was driving around in a patrol truck, the security patrol truck, and I was listening to Plugmaster Ford and Preacher Digger, and it was the Relics radio show. And Plugmaster Ford said they're in England. I think they arrived today in England or tomorrow for a week of metal detecting there, and he was going to use the Legend as his primary detector. So I'm curious to see how well he does there, and what he pulls with that Legend over there in England. That's pretty awesome. It's 15 degrees here. I don't like cold weather. Don't be afraid to change your settings just because you're on a beach. Don't mean you have to use beach mode. That is true. Sands can differ just like soil. If now that you said that, I think I changed my modes. I took it off beach mode. I put it back on park mode or field mode just to see if I could find anything deeper. Just playing around with it that day, but I was only out there about an hour and a half. I would love to try the SP35 coil on the Simplex. Just need the lower carbon fiber shaft. Yeah, you'll need that lower carbon fiber. As big as that thing is, and it's a little heavier, you'll need that new shaft for that thing. All right, so let's talk about this Legend. So she mentioned it today that the middle shaft is going to be carbon fiber on the Legend. We already kind of have talked about it, and I do plan on getting the middle carbon fiber shaft, and also the new arm cuff thing. I do plan on doing that whenever it's time. But I may just I won't need the LG30 coil because it's already on its way to my house. So I'll probably just talk to her about how I can make that happen. Or I can talk to Calico. Maybe they can make up something where I can just get those two or whatever. I need to talk to Mark as well with Calico and see how they're going to offer that when it's time, But anyway, happy hunting, hitting hay. I'm getting ready to go too, guys. We need about another 9 minutes. I'll close this thing out at 10:30 Eastern time. I use the LG35 coil on the Legend, and it's awesome. I may get the new light model Simplex as a backup to my Legend. So yeah, going forward, I mean they're gonna discontinue the current Simplex. So I'm gonna be honest with you that they just announced a deal the other day where you get the Simplex, a pulse dive, the hand digger tool, which is excellent. I've only talked to one person or two people ever that have broken one of those things, the premium hand digger. I have one when we go to these events and I'm selling stuff at these events under the umbrella of Calico. I have a bunch of those things that I'll be selling, so I like them. I think they work great. Yeah, good night, George. Let's see here. Yeah, Simplex is a backup to my Legend also. Just send me the coil. Good night, George. Yep, said that. But other than that, we talked about that. I'll mention this real quick. Again, I'm not dissing any other company for making a metal detector, but the Xterra that Minelab came out with is going to be what, three different frequencies. That's awesome. Hey, put it out there. Get it on the market. See if people will buy it. I want to see it used. I want to see it find stuff. I'm not going to say one company needs to flood the market, but I like the idea of new machines coming out there because it breeds competition, which also should drive down the prices, right? That's what we hope, right? Um, the other thing I was going to mention was Garrett. I think Garrett's got something up her sleeves. I don't know what it is yet. Daisy hinted around to it a while back, but she hadn't told me. She was hinting around to something when we were in Arizona last year, and it was about the Axiom. She wasn't allowed to say anything, but I think they got something else up their sleeve. They, in my opinion, they're going to catch up. Garrett's going to catch up. They've got the APEX, but they don't have a simultaneous multi-frequency waterproof metal detector. And I'm hearing that they're getting ready to do something about that and let the world know about it, but I don't know when. I'd love to see that though. I'd love to see them. I don't want to see Garrett go down. I want to see Garrett stay in the game, and as a United States, as a company in the U.S. making metal detectors. I don't want to see Nokta and Mind Lab and XP take over the entire metal detecting, because none of them are U.S. companies. I want to see the United States metal detector company stay in the game, and they've got to step up. And I'm hoping they do. I hope they do. Just to just to show these other companies too that, hey, we can do it too. we can stay in this game. I'm hoping they will. I don't want to see another U.S. company go down like White's did. I don't. Let's see here. Imagine if the Ultra could be useful on the beach. Yeah, that would be great. If they, I was watching Calabash Digger. He come out with a video today or a few days ago. Said he talked by email. He talked to somebody, some engineer with Mind Lab, and the guy emailed him back and said it works very well on the beach. It's a single frequency metal detector, but the guy said it worked very well on the beach. I don't know. I hope it does. I hope it does. Let's see. Garrett needs to catch up. Hey, Steven, me too. The new pinpointer will connect to the Legend, Simplex, Bluetooth, and Ultra. Yes, I am so, and I talked about it at the very beginning, and this will probably be where we kind of shut things down for the night. I am really, really excited about that new pointer coming out. The AccuPoint, the Nokta AccuPoint. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to having it in my hand, having it connected to my Bluetooth headphones with my machine in front of me, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Delic, she caught a lot of flack from a lot of people because she gave dates on the Legend 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. So I understand every time somebody asks her a question and says, hey, when's it coming out of anything, she says, I'm not giving dates. I know why now. I do, because people are brutal. We all, let's just be honest, we all are brutal sometimes with our fingers on these things and typing, and we're mean. Why are we mean? Why are we mean like we are? That's why that phrase I say at the end of my videos, treat other people how you want to be treated. I don't like people talking trash to me, so I shouldn't give trash out. That's my sermon, okay? But anyway, so hang in there. Use your other pinpointers. If you got a Garrett Carrot, it's a great pinpointer. Use that thing. If you got a Nokta pointer, use that thing. It's great. If you got a Pulse Dive, use it. When they announce it and they put it on on the shelves, then you can buy one. And until then, I don't know when it's coming out. And quite frankly, they probably do. They have an idea, but they're just being safe. And then they catch flack when they say we're not giving a date. So anyway, so that's my sermon. So guys, just be nice. We live in a world of meanness. Just try to be nice when you can, and you ought to be able to do it all the time. You can be nice. You can be nice. What's that little rabbit? He said, Mama taught me. He said, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. Man, how true that is. This world would be a whole lot different if people would shut their mouths sometimes, or control their thumbs. Sometimes you need to think and say, should I really say that? Sometimes, sometimes I'll type it and be like, nah, I shouldn't do that. And I'll erase it, and I'm not even gonna do it. But I want to get to the point where I don't even put it on paper, where I don't even put it on the screen, because it's in my heart. If I say it or if I put it on the screen, it was still in there. I want to get to the point where it ain't there no more. And that's where I want to be at in life. But anyway, now I'm giving y'all a sermon. But anyway, patience, a fruit of the spirit. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Detecting Youngstown, you caught us right at the tail end of this thing. So let me give you a rundown of what we got going on, and I'm checking out of here in a couple minutes. In 2 weeks and 2 days, we have a metal detecting event at Oconee Gold Camp in Oconee, South Carolina, Tomasi, South Carolina. And if you are new to the hobby, live in this area, you're not an LDMA member, it's $200. We're giving away a Gold Finder 2000 and a Simplex. Okay, we're giving away 2 metal detectors at that event. One sponsored by Calico, one of them sponsored by Nokta. And then giving away pinpointers and digging tools and silver and gold and pay dirt and all kind of stuff. I'll be there with the Calico tent selling stuff as well. We got an event in April at the Stanton camp. Stanton, which is Stanton, they call it Stanton, Arizona, but it's in Congress, Arizona. It's between Phoenix and the Grand Canyon, about 2 hours either way. So that's where we're going to be at, and that's in the middle of April, and we'll be there for a week. And the event is only going to be for 3 days: Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday. And all that stuff, I think I put it down in the description. If you want to check that out, look at it. But we'll be at those 2 events this spring. We've got one this fall. Let's see, what do I have going on this next week? I will not have a video out Saturday because life gets in the way sometimes. And we got to get stuff done. So I will not have a video. I might have a video. I take that back. I might have a video for you, okay? So if I can make it happen Friday, I'll have a video for you on Saturday. Next Friday, myself and Chris are going back to the Oconee camp to do some We're going to go up there and play around with a high banker, and then we're going to be seeding some fields and stuff for that event, and taking some tents up there and all the stuff we got to carry up there. So a lot going on. But that's what I got going on this spring. And I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, we're giving away a pulse dive. If you haven't put in for that pulse dive giveaway, it's a couple videos back. I think I put it out. I put it out Saturday. So put in for that thing. See if you can win it, and help us get to 5,000. We're really close. We're at 4,700. So we need 300 more subscribers, and we'll get there. We'll get there soon. We've come a long way the past couple weeks, and we've come a long way this whole year. Channel's really grown, and we're expanding our family, right? Expanding the Southern Relics family, and I appreciate you guys. Pietro B, James Huff, I didn't see your names earlier in the chat. Dirk Claude Metal Detecting. Anybody else I don't see in here that I missed? Guys, thank y'all so much for jumping on here and watching, and being patient with me for a few minutes while I was trying to get settled at home. But we've had a great night. I'm at 78 minutes, so it's time for me to end this live stream. But anyway, I tell you what, we'll do do this right here. Down in the actual comment section, not the live stream, not where you're chatting now, but the live stream, I have a sticker packet that was that somebody won, but they didn't want it. There's a whole bunch of stickers in here. Southern Relic sticker, Calico sticker, everything. If you put a comment in the actual comment section, I'll draw a winner Friday. I'll announce it Saturday, and I'll send it anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world gets these stickers, I'll send it to you. So y'all do that, and we'll draw a winner Saturday, and whoever gets it, gets it. So, all right, guys, I'm done. It's been a good night. Hope everybody had a good night, and hope everybody enjoyed me running my mouth for 2 hours. But anyway, God bless. Hope you have a good night. We'll see you on Saturday, Lord willing.